Well, it's a chilly afternoon at the clearing after a nice several-hour rain. And we're going to talk about fall color. It's the peak of fall color season at Indoor County and at the clearing, and it's a good year for fall color. I have 2 litmus tests at the clearing to help me determine whether it's going to be a good year or not. And here's the first one. This is big tooth aspen. We're on the east edge, toward the north edge of the homestead meadow. And when the big tooth aspen have a fair bit of orange or orangey red in them, I know it's going to be a good year. And here it is. I've seen it better, but this is, in terms of fall color, this is a well above average year. This is big tooth aspen. You called that because it has these large teeth along the margin, unlike its close cousin, the quaking aspen, which doesn't have that. But like quaking aspen, it has a long, flattened leaf petiole or leaf stem that helps it shake in the slightest breeze. Pivots, and then the flat stem catches more breeze. So, but fall color is good on big tooth aspen this year. This is white ash, one of 3 native ashes in Door County. We also have black ash and green ash. But on upland sites like at the clearing, it's all white ash. And they turn purple in the fall. The yellow and orange fall colors, those pigments were there all along since spring. They were just covered over by the green chlorophyll pigment. But chlorophyll is the least cold tolerant of all the various pigments. So it breaks down first and reveals the yellows on birches and the oranges on sugar maples. But purples and the true reds, like the purples on white ash, they don't form until fall. With shortening days, cooler nights, and ideally sunny days, we get the reds and the purples. And sunny days and cool nights in particular, if we get a fall with a lot of that, we get better purple and red fall color. So the white ash is really good this year. It's one of the first to color and one of the first to drop its leaves. And we have to enjoy white ash and the other ashes while we can, because they are dying in great numbers in Door County, as they have everywhere, from emerald ash borer. We have a lot of it at the clearing now. We'll always have young ones like this, but they'll eventually grow up and become infested with the borer. So unfortunately, we're going to lose a lot of our ash trees, have already. But this is white ash. This is my other litmus test for fall color in Door County. This is a sugar maple. We're on the western edge of the hay meadow along the exit road. And when this is good, I know fall color is good. I've seen it better than this, but this is pretty good. So I started noticing this looking good about a week ago, and I knew, maybe a little more than a week, and I knew it was going to be a good fall color season. And the wind we've had, especially today, earlier today, has taken down quite a few of the leaves. So it's past peak, but this is good color on sugar maple. Well, here's one of my favorites. This is one of our kind of smaller, doesn't get very tall, native shrubs called maple leaf viburnum. People look at it and think it's a maple, but it's not a maple, it's a viburnum. But and it's spectacular, I think, in spring when it flowers, and in summer and late summer and early fall when it has its fruit on it. It's dark blue berries. But it really comes into its own now with this wonderful pinkish red fall color. Maple leaf viburnum, typically not out in the sun, but in partial shade. One of the Door County's understory shrubs, maple leaf viburnum. This is round-leaf dogwood, which I'm pretty sure is the most common deciduous shrub in Door County. grows in open areas and along the edge everywhere. And I think this is the best I've ever seen it in fall color. This is just west of the Jensen Center. And it is spectacular. You can always tell, and there are many kinds of dogwoods, but dogwood have these parallel veins that curve up and never quite make it to the leaf margin. They die out before they get to the margin. All dogwoods do that. And almost all dogwoods are opposite. You can see that they have leaves that are opposite each other on the stem, except for one, and it's also a native pagoda dogwood. It has alternate leaves, but all the other ones have opposite leaves, and they all get good fall color. And the fruit is long gone, because as soon as the fruit ripens on any dogwood, the birds take them right away. The birds feast on dogwood fruits as soon as they're ripe. But roundleaf dogwood is as good as it gets. Here we have our native sumac, Staghorn sumac. Most people know sumac for its fall color, which is also spectacular this year. With these long, this whole thing is one leaf. These are all leaflets, pinnately compound leaf, like a fern frond. And it's called Staghorn sumac because under new growth, you got this velvety fuzz like the fuzz on a stag's or a deer's horn. So Staghorn sumac. But everybody knows it for its great fall color. This is Door County's native hazelnut called beaked hazelnut. Again, great fall color this year, kind of an orangey red with some yellows mixed in. Very nice, and you can really see the catkins. These are the male flowers that formed back in summer, and these will elongate next spring and shed pollen. Now, this is one of those plants that has separate male and female flowers on the same plant. The female flowers are just tiny and bright red, but often go unnoticed. But these catkins, or big little hot dogs, they'll get 2-3 inches long, and then they're wind blown, and when the wind blows, they shed their pollen and fly off to female flower somewhere. But fall color is, again, spectacular on hazelnut this year. This is probably the nicest white pine on the property at the entrance to the Jensen Center. And the yellowy needles on here, and I consider that fall color on pines. They do that every fall. They suddenly yellow and drop some of their oldest needles. People get alarmed that something's wrong with the tree, but this is natural. It's called seasonal needle drop. And I just tell people, just enjoy it like you would other fall color. And it's really at a peak right now. So these will all fall off over the course of the next week or two, all those yellow ones. Seasonal needle drop on white pine. This is arborvitae, or also called white cedar. And like white pine and the other true pines, it yellows or browns some of its older foliage this time of year and drops it. Seasonal needle drop, same as on white pine. Other conifers like spruces and hemlocks, firs, Douglas fir, junipers, yews, all those, they will drop needles over the course of the whole year. They won't be as dramatic as this and do it in one season. But true pines, like white pine, red pine, do this, and arborvitae or white cedar does the same thing. So it's not sick, it's just a natural phenomenon, and I tell people it's fall color.